happy Thursday. Glad you're on here, whether you're watching live or replay. I am a little later than I normally am. I don't know about all of you mamas or parents out there, but it is Thursday and my children are off for a mini winter break. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's a long winter break. So anyway, sometimes your day gets hijacked. How many of you guys can relate? But if you see me looking at notes today, I've got a lot of really good, valuable information that I cannot wait to share with you, that was shared with me that absolutely, literally gives you the specifics for how to grow and build your business online, specifically in what we're talking about. So my question to you today is, are you randomly posting on social media to grow your biz? Is that how you're building online? Or do you have a mapped out road plan or strategic plan or roadmap for how to do that? I ask because when you position yourself and you grow in one of these areas and you position yourself as a guru or an expertise in a certain area, aka business owner for what you're doing, then you can more effectively position yourself online and start attracting the right kind of people that you want to, because your marketing is attracting those people to you. So it's way more highly effective. So if you answered yes to are you randomly posting on social media, then today's live is definitely going to be for you. So for those of you new to the page or new to this video, I am Emily Smiley and I am passionate about helping home-based business owners, entrepreneurs of any sort, take and build their business online, specifically social media, and using those skills. I'm so excited to do so. So if you watched yesterday's live, I shared about the one thing that you absolutely need to do on social media to grow your business. And if you didn't watch that, it's probably a preface to this one, so maybe go back and check it out. But basically, it's being a content creator. You need to be a content creator. I'm not going to get into the specifics again of what that is and what it does and why you need it. Go back and watch that live. But if you are familiar with content and putting your content out on social media, but you're like stuck with, well, what the heck do I post, or what do I share about, or what does that mean to be a content creator? You really want to master this skill, especially if you're building online, because it really is the difference about, what sets those people apart from just everyone else that's just a spammy teamy on social media. I get messages every single day. Hey, I haven't talked to you in however many years. How are you? How's the fam? Hey, I just got into whatever business. Are you interested in any of the products? Like, no hi, no relationship, no anything. We've all gotten those, right? If you can relate, let me know. I get them, like I said, every single day. So a lot of people are building on social media and they're doing it all wrong. They're just putting up those random posts. And usually they're waiting for a sale, I think. They're not in it for the long game. They're asking for whatever it is right there. Well, that reads desperate, right? That reads like a spammy Tammy. That reads like you really aren't a business owner and you don't position yourself from that area of expertise, right? You have to build that know, like, and trust with your followers and whatever it is that you're building on social media. And you need to play the long game. And this matters, right? It matters to me. I desire to bring value to this page. Why? Because I desire to help you build on social media. So I share what I pay money to and information that I get for me, and I choose to share that with you. So you have to be willing to put in the work. You can't just throw up a post or a quote or a picture of your product and expect that that's gonna work. You need to think about your audience. What is in it? Because every time they come to social media, they're not coming there to buy your stuff. They're coming there for them. They're coming to be entertained. They're coming to, whatever it is. You need to consider your audience, right? So today I'm going to get in specifically of how can you be a master at creating content? Because if you do work on your skill sets for this, you can grow it organically, right? Like I'm still, I think I shared yesterday, like I've made some sales just from posts that I've done this week, not even really trying to sell anything. It came from a place of sharing, right? Or being that expert or that go-to or that guru. So I have a few. So if you're taking notes, this would be a good one to do it on, all right? The first one is an about me content. if it's your page, it's about you. So don't make it about your product. We all have that friend who wasn't on social media until they got into a business. And then all of a sudden, they are literally spamming their company's logo and products all over their personal page or even a business page. Or maybe you've been added to one of those groups, where it's their product group page, but that's all that it is. It's just every other day is a buy one, get one, or this is on sale, or I'm putting an order in and I have this much left, and that's all that you hear from them. But people come, and you need to consider your audience. They want to know what's in it for them. So do your micro stories, right? So Instagram and Facebook have created the stories. Why? Because most people will consume their content through video format with 15 seconds to about a minute clip of video. And you can fit a lot of this in. If you look at TikTok, a lot of people are consuming video content through there, hours and hours and hours. But it allows the average, right, small home-based business owner to put out content that is about them. Well, how would that help me grow my business? Because anytime you grow your reach and you grow your, brand per se, right, you get your face out there, you're growing your business because people know that you exist. And that's the big thing on online or on social media, especially as a small business owner, right? Or especially if you didn't bring maybe a big influence or a big following into your business. You want people to get to know you. So your first is you're going to make micro stories. There's no selling in these micro stories. There's nothing that is about your company's logo or picture or a product picture. I'll get more in specific in that. It could be what your business is, but maybe you're sharing the benefits, right? And you would share one benefit in a micro story. Maybe it's just one of your clips for your Instagram story. Maybe it's just something specifically about you. And if you've never done the branding worksheet, I absolutely suggest that you do that. Because it helps you get very, very, very specific about who you are, what your brand is, and what you're putting out there. And you want to be consistent with what it is that you're sharing with people, right? You don't want to be off the wall, something that they're like, whoa, you want it to be about you. All right, so number 2, you want a behind the scenes. It kind of goes with the first one. Only, a lot of people, I know you've seen it, it's like, well, everybody only puts their highlight reel on there, and everybody only did yada, 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 right? And I'm not saying to like air your dirty laundry, but just keep it real. People love to see your life. Like, you need to share your life. Side note here, my mom is always blown away that a lot of her friends or family or whoever and they're like, oh yeah, I saw Emily's, blah, blah, blah. My mom's like, why do they always know that? I'm like, cause I allow people in. I let people into my life and I share my story. I keep it real, right? You can't keep it real much more than doing your lives in a hat or your sweats or whatever, right? It's because the information you're trying to get out is more important than being pretty or looking perfect. So share those behind the scenes what behind the scenes of your business or your team or a call, or it can be about that. You could do glimpses of, your life, and you might go, well, it's boring. Well, that's in the eye of the beholder, right? Like, maybe your audience desires more fun or more family time. And if you're just like, well, I'm just at home, well, then do little clip videos or short or boomerangs or something in your stories or your posts that is showing just those little glimpses of all of the benefits of being able to stay home more with your family. People love to see behind the scenes, a glimpse of your team, your business, your family, and the fun that you're having in your life, right? But keep it real. Number 3, share your why. And I think I've struggled with this, and we were talking about it at a mastermind workshop recently. And basically, it's allowing yourself to be vulnerable and go a little deeper, because you want your audience to have an emotional connection with you. And you can't do that if everything is surface all the time. So it's one thing to keep it real and give a behind the scenes in a quick video or whatever. But when you're sharing your why, you're going way deeper into why you are the way you are. So maybe this is inspiring your audience in some way. to understand what makes you tick, what your life is like, or why you're this way. Why do you feel so passionately about, your health product or whatever? Maybe you've lost a family member to something that you feel like, it's your mission now to get the word out. You want to help people. What's your mission in life? Anyone that's known me my entire life knows that I am very, very, very passionate about health and wellness, specifically in families, and even more specifically in dealing with children, and even more specific in that than changing the course of our school systems and changing what they require as far as what the nutrition is being presented and their physical education activities, right? Cutting those things out and saying they're not important, or it's just the family's responsibility, when in fact they maybe feed those kids 2 out of 3 meals a day. Side note, I digress. Anyway, share your why, right? What makes you tick? Number 4, educational. You want to be the authority in whatever field or area it is that you are in. In the mail today, I actually got a letter, and it was from a realtor, and I thought, oh, this is genius marketing. Like it was, and she does it all the time. It was on, how to do your taxes or whatever, right? And she'll always send these like tips on being a homeowner or whatever. So that applies to her as a realtor. So what would imply to you? Maybe it would be sharing a recipe. Maybe it would be sharing a how-to video. There's a mom that did like a 5-minute face in the car, and I was like, that's applicable, right? Like how many of us can relate to that? A life hack. My family, we've done life hacks with the Smileys because we are really an on-the-go, sports-minded family that really prioritizes health. So how do you do that when you're busy and you're on the go? And we've shared life hacks for that. Maybe that's something you could do. You want to be a giver. You want to be the person that people come to because they're like, oh, she's always sharing other people's things. There's a lady, I cannot remember her name, or I would totally give her credit, but I do sometimes see her on Instagram, on social media, and basically her whole platform is highlighting other people and what they do. Well, what happens? That in turn has helped her. I think she's a personal trainer or fitness instructor or something, maybe just fitness instructor. But anyway, she really highlights other people very, very, very well in her videos. The marketing is genius. It's just very little clips, and she's highlighting other people and their businesses. And that in turn makes people like her better, right? Because she's constantly giving. And it's not that it's this ulterior motive, right? Because people can sense that. Like you really genuinely need to want to give and share and educate your audience in whatever it is. Maybe it's sharing a journal or information on a health topic. And you don't always want to come from a place of like, I'm up here and I'm telling you this, but it really needs to be that humble place of giving and wanting to share with your audience, if that makes sense. Okay, so make sure that you are sharing those educational things without expecting anything back, right? So if you're sharing, don't ask or share. And I shouldn't say that every time, but most of the time, you don't expect anything back. There are times, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. Okay, number 5, inspirational or motivational quotes. Now, if you've been guilty of using this as a filler, you are not the only one. When I started building on social media, I love quotes anyway, and I used it for my posts like all the time. Well, the good news is now in stories, I put a lot of those in there, right? Because you really want to chalk those stories really full because people are looking and reading their stories much more than they're going to see your post. And if you're posting too many times, then they're going to lose the valuable ones. Does that make sense? So it's okay, but be sure that they are, cohesive with your brand, right? Who you are, that's all that means, who you are as a person. Right? So, if you're always posting cat videos, but that's not how you define yourself as a brand, is that really effective? Maybe it is. Maybe you're an animal lover, right? For me, I do a lot of fitness ones. So anyone that knows me knows that makes sense. Like, oh yeah, okay, that's Emily, right? And maybe it repels some people, but that's okay because those are not going to be your people anyway, right? You want to attract the people that probably are very similar or most like you. And when you stay cohesive to your brand, which is who you are, even in your quotes and your fillers or your stories, you're going to attract the right people. And more importantly, you're going to not waste time with your tire kickers or those who aren't with gonna want what you have to offer, if that makes sense. Okay. Within that, I would also say ask questions. Now, it's getting to be a little bit of a pet peeve for me because everyone has kind of figured out, well, if you ask a question, then you get a lot of responses. Facebook loves that, changes the algorithm, right? It gets a lot of engagement on your page, which shares your stuff more, yada, yada, yada. I think most of you would kind of know that now. But I am seeing the same stupid questions over and over and over. I've been guilty of taking other people's, or asking, like, hey, I like that one. And I've also had them taken, which is totally fine. I'm just saying, try to be original and try to be specific to your audience. Even if you're just wanting to connect with them, and I should remind you, side note here, like the whole idea of all of these is to grow your audience, but more importantly, to connect to the people that actually follow you. So people that are following you closely in whatever niche that you're in, you want to connect with them as much as possible. So if you're asking or quoting or whatever, asking a question that you want a response to, maybe it's to get an answer so that you get to know the people that follow you better, right? You always need to have that what's in it for your audience in the back, not what's in it for you. And when you get in the right mindset of that and you're thinking, it changes the game. Absolutely. Because it's not about a sale from one post. Right? We've all seen those posts where people post whatever it is, join me, I'm looking for 5 people. Maybe they used to be effective, but they are almost completely null and void at this point. I don't think anyone I've talked to recently has had anything, and we've all been guilty of it, right? They're just not effective. You've got to up-level your marketing skills. All right, number 6, give the benefits of what you offer. Of course, you want to put your business, you want to be a proud business owner out there. You just don't want to spam your newsfeed. And all of these, by the way, can be done on a business page or a personal page. But when you're sharing the benefits, don't post the product. And I know I've said this, I feel like on every single video, but I still see it. It's probably the biggest thing. If you are showing a picture of your product and I can see the name, I can what? What can I do? I can go to Google, I can find the product, and I can get it myself. I don't need you at that point, right? You need for people to need you. So don't post pictures of your product. What could you do instead? That's this one. You could put the benefit. Maybe you have a product that gives you like more energy and it's natural energy. You could say, and even have it with you. That's fine, but have your life, have it be one of those micro stories and talk about how you used to feel so drained and now you don't. Or it could be about your business, how you used to miss all your kid stuff and now you don't, right? Like that's my thing. I used to spend hours locked in my room trying to do calls for a team that ended up quitting anyway. And now it's just, okay, so I know my kids are off and I know it doesn't matter about that anymore, right? I can design it way more effectively around my life now and business hours that I want to run and put those times in when I want to do them, right? And then send my team online calendar. That is game changer. So the benefits of what you offer instead of what it is that you offer, okay? Now, I will state you could have a CTA on this, all right? And if you don't know what a CTA is, it's a call to action, right? I have taught a lot of people, really recently, we've been talking about it with those that I've been helping, a call to action. And the call to action could be anything, right? But basically you want to tell your audience what it is that you want them to do. Be compelling. The idea sometimes is that it does give you social proof that you're wanting, right? So maybe if it is a business related post, maybe some of your team comment, right? I always do this with new people that I'm trying to help and help them, the algorithm, right? Stir that up on social media, right? I'll make myself a note and then I go in there and I might comment, especially if I've tried it, because I use a lot of companies, different things, right? So I can come in and help provide that social proof for them, that third-party validation, that social proof that's so important. This can be done so easily on social media. It's insane. And it's way more effective than a three-way call where only one person that they don't know and can't see is the validator. This way, it gives multiple people a chance to comment in or engage, and it boosts that post even more that way, all right? But basically, when you're giving a call to action, which by the way, can be done on any of these posts, You're telling your audience specifically what to do. Don't say it really vaguely and expect that they're going to miraculously reach out to you, right? Like, you want to be specific in what you say. And I find it way more effective to take it off of social media as quickly as possible, or at least to Messenger. We do a lot in Messenger now, which is amazing, all right? The last one that I wanted to share is the offer, ask, invite, right? So you present whatever it is that you're offering, you offer an invite, and then, or you ask for it, sorry, and then you invite them. So maybe, you do have some sort of offer, right? Like, a lot of times when our community has something, I might share that on this page, right? Like, we're offering whatever. Ask them if they'd like to join, and then if they let me know, maybe invite them. Maybe you do that with something specific to you. Maybe you do that with a Facebook group or a webinar that you're hosting or information that you're sharing, right? You can be creative about this, but again, you want to be specific with that CTA and what it is that you want your audience to do and what's in it for them. Even though you're expecting to give the invite, you still need to have that in the forefront of your mind of what is in it for them and to be of value for them. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so I know that was a lot. So just to kind of recap, number 1, about me content, microstorying, no selling specifically. Number 2, behind the scenes, share your life and connect with your audience. Number 3, share your why, get vulnerable, go deeper, inspire your audience, and let them know what makes you tick. Number 4, educational, establish yourself as a guru or place of authority. Recipes, how-to, life hacks. Just be a giver so that people, give them a reason to come check you out, because people won't keep following you. We've all blocked that person who's just spamming. Number 5, inspirational, motivational quotes, right? Again, they can ask questions, but they need to be to relate and connect with your audience. Number 6, when sharing, share the benefits of what it is that you offer. And again, be a giver and have that CTA, have that call to action on there. Be compelling and get the social proof whenever that you can. And number 7, the last one, offer, ask, invite, which is exactly what it says. Have an offer, ask, and invite. That's a specific CTA. Again, you're keeping in mind the rules that you've stated before about staying true to your brand, who you are, and keeping, if you're in affiliate or direct sales or network marketing, you're keeping those companies, those names, those logos, those products, those specific names out of it. So it has to be something that you invite them over to. All right. Remember that you're in this for the long game and you have to put in the work. A lot of people are like, well, I've just been trying to do this on social media and it's just not working. But people that build old school, like, they're getting out there and they're pounding the pavement and they're going through the numbers, right? But then people go on social media and they think that it's just this piece of cake, right? It's still skill sets that you have to acquire. It's just different. You're still having to put the work in. It just looks different. You're still going to have to wait on the results, sometimes a little longer, but the bonus would be that you're able to reach more people. So that is what I mean when I say you're in it for the long game, right? Especially when you're building online. So I did put on here how many times. I would say if you shared even these once a week, that's 7 posts a week. So it used to be, post all of this how many times a day, 7 times a day, 8 times a day, then that changed. It's still, I would still share like 1 or 2 valuable posts a day. It could be whatever in those things that you're sharing. You can be specific, you could be exact. You could share 2 of one and maybe another and then switch it, doesn't matter. Right? You want to be consistent. How many of us have seen somebody and they've been really consistent, and then they drop off the face of the earth, right? And we're like, oh, I literally have called them, like, oh, they must have quit their business, right? And why? Because they get frustrated, right? Because we all need that roadmap, that specific of what and how to do it. So chalk those Facebook and Instagram stories full, because that's how people are consuming most of their content. Make the really valuable, beneficial ones that go a little deeper. Make those value posts a couple of times a day, and that gives you plenty to post about. So I hope you guys find this helpful. I'm so thankful for this strategy that was given to me, because it really has switched everything for me in my business and how I come from, the place that I come from, the mindset that I come from, how I think. So I hope that it does the same for you. All right, you guys, I will see you tomorrow for Fess Up Friday, and I hope you guys have a great day.